The story of Daniel, a key figure in the Bible, particularly in the book of Daniel, is both inspiring and transformative. Daniel's early life in Judah. Daniel was born into a noble family in Judah. When Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, conquered Judah, Daniel was taken as a young man to Babylon. Along with other young men, he was trained in the Babylonian language and literature to be a servant of the king. Daniel's decision to remain faithful. While in Babylon, Daniel and his 3 friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, were offered the king's food and wine. However, Daniel refused to eat the royal food and drink, which had been offered to idols because it was against his faith. Instead, Daniel chose to eat vegetables and water. Daniel interprets King Nebuchadnezzar's dream. The king had a troubling dream that no one in his court could interpret. Daniel, through God's wisdom, was able to interpret the dream, revealing that the king's kingdom would eventually fall, but God's kingdom would last forever. The fiery furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. King Nebuchadnezzar built a golden image and ordered everyone to worship it. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused, and as punishment they were thrown into a fiery furnace. However, God protected them and they emerged unscathed. Daniel in the lion's den. Later, under King Darius, Daniel's enemies tricked the king into issuing a decree that anyone who prayed to any god other than the king would be thrown into the lion's den. Daniel, as usual, prayed to God 3 times a day. He was arrested and thrown into the den. God shut the mouths of the lions, and Daniel emerged unharmed the next morning. Daniel's vision of the 4 beasts. Daniel had a vision of 4 beasts that represented 4 kingdoms. This vision was troubling, but it symbolized the rise and fall of empires and the ultimate victory of God's everlasting kingdom. Daniel's prayer for his people. Daniel, in his old age, prayed earnestly for the forgiveness of his people. He confessed their sins and asked God to restore them to their land. This prayer is a profound example of intercession on behalf of others. Daniel's final vision and prophecies. Before his death, Daniel received one final vision that provided a prophetic timeline for future events, including the coming of a Messiah. The angel Gabriel explained the meaning of the vision to Daniel, offering hope for the ultimate triumph of God's kingdom.